Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode one of Ready, Yes, Play, the Blind Low Vision Tennis Podcast. And I'm here with my co host, Dana Aravich. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. We're excited to be able to promote blind low vision tennis in our first episode today. And I really want to thank you, Dana, for coming and joining me to do the podcast. It's exciting to see that blind and low vision tennis is the fastest growing sport for people with blindness in the United States currently, with over 2,000 people playing blind and low vision tennis in the last year.
It's impressive, and it's impressive because it's such a fun sport. And I think for probably a lot of people with low vision or vision loss, they didn't think they could play a sport with a ball, and here we are playing tennis.
And there's just minor adaptations. So I guess before we kind of introduce ourselves, let's talk about the minor adaptations that there are. Just a shorter court, a little bit shorter. And if you're a B1 totally blind athlete, then you'll play in the service box area, which is shorter again. And then you get multiple bounces. So instead of just the one bounce in regular tennis, you get up to two or three bounces depending on your level of vision loss. And then audible serving, where I'll say, are you ready? And they'll say yes, and we'll say play, which is obviously the name of our podcast. And then we'll hit the ball to the opponent. And of course, the ball itself is an audible ball. And it's a little bit bigger than a mainstream tennis ball, and it has a foam casing. So it won't hurt you if you get hit by the ball. It's really soft. And it bounces probably, you know, at a B2 and B3 level, knee to hip, and a B3, a B1 level, which is totally blind, maybe around like the shin to ankle, to be able to hit back on your third or your second bounce. So it gives you enough time to be able to track the audible function and then to use your remaining vision to also track. And so, Dana, tell us a little bit about your journey, how you came to find blind low vision tennis.
Sure. So I am actually an occupational therapist who specializes in low vision and a certified low vision therapist. But myself, I had not played any ball sports. I had stuck to things with stationary balls like golf or yoga. And then recently found out about some other individuals in my area with low vision and blindness who were involved in other sports and mentioned that they play tennis. And I said, tennis? How does that work? I want to find out more. And then I found a really great local group here in Pittsburgh where I live and have been playing tennis ever since. What about you, Murray?
Well, I found blind and low vision tennis in Australia originally. So I'm originally from Sydney. I own my own business called Ameribility, which contracts to state agencies for the blind in across America. But I started playing probably in 2019, and we had tournaments. I worked with Tennis Australia to be able to set up a regular event in Sydney and Queensland, and there were ones in South Australia and Victoria already taking place. And the one in Victoria takes place at Rod Laver Arena, where the Australian Open's held at the indoor centre there. So it kind of came out of the European game, and some people from Europe kind of said, "Hey, we'd love Australia to play." And Tennis Australia were really enthusiastic in getting that up and running. And so I was kind of one of the initial people who sat on the board and helped get that up and running. And I just loved the game. I had played Paralympic goalball at a high level internationally, but my body was kind of a bit sore from that. It's a pretty intensive game, goalball. So I wanted to still play sport and still transition and stay active. And tennis was a great crossover sport at that time for me. And I love tennis. Being Australian, we have tennis as a major sport for us, and the Australian Open's always a fantastic opportunity to go play. So I think moving back here in 2023 to the United States, I was invited to sit on the board of directors, and then I became the president. And so it's just been so much fun to see people get out and actually play the game and experience that. So we want more people to play, and we're going to talk about some opportunities that will enable you to come and play in the next couple of months with US Blind Tennis Association.
And I think the great thing to mention about blind low vision tennis is that it's appropriate for all age groups. So this is something you can start with your child if you are a young adult, a kiddo, it's appropriate. If you're an older adult, it's appropriate anywhere in between. To me, it's a sport that not only gives you that competitive feeling that maybe you miss if you're someone who played other sports and no longer can access those, and if you've never been able to do it, it's fun just to hit a ball back and forth, even without the goal of playing in a tournament. So we definitely invite you to come check it out. And we have a number of fun events coming up where you can do that.
And Dana, just before we get to the events, your point around that it can be played at any age. I agree with that. It's fantastic, especially for younger kids with orientation and mobility challenges, to get them out on the court, to get them moving, side to side movement, backward and forward movement, and just that open space environment where they can build confidence is fantastic. I've seen that happen at a really young age. And obviously, as an occupational therapist, you'd come across that all the time.
And I think even for people who are older who are learning O&M, these are skills that you never want to lose. And if you've never built them, this is a perfect space to learn about it because you're on a flat level surface. You're not going to get hurt. You get to explore what it feels like to move in a variety of directions. And the other thing that we know is a huge predictor of how long we'll live and how well we'll live is balance. And this is a great space for someone who does have changes in their vision to work on their balance in a really fun way, in a casual way, as opposed to having to go to the therapist's office.
Absolutely. And I think the other advantage for blind low vision tennis is that you can go and play with the adaptive ball on the adaptive court at your local tennis court. And for many kids who have recently tried, their parents have bought a blind tennis ball, and they go and tell me all the time that they're practicing and doing something as a family. And so, if you're looking for things to do as someone who is blind or low vision, and you do have family, friends, people who work with you, then I think blind low vision tennis is great to just get out in your community and something you can do with anybody to be able to hit a ball back and forth. And that part is great to see that families can come together, brothers and sisters, parents, and do things as a family together.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get into the tournaments and the activities that we're about to do in the coming months. We'll preface this by saying that along the side here, on the other side, sorry, of the screen is our website address, www.usblindtennis.org. And we encourage you to go and check out the website. And that is really that first step in being able to communicate with us and register for the tournaments and register for the events as well. But Dana, you have the first activity that we're going to do on July 1st. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to be traveling to Houston, Texas. Houston used to have a very robust blind low vision tennis program, and we're hoping to rekindle the fire. So I'll be at the West Gray Recreational Center on July 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. in Houston, where we will be going over ways to play as a new player. Anyone who's interested in being a coach is also welcome to come. This is an event that we're opening up for kids to adults, and we will have a link online for this. I believe it will be on the USTA Texas website. And I also will be posting a link on my LinkedIn, and we'll see if we can get it on our US BTA website as well, so that anyone who's interested can come sign up. It's absolutely free. You need to know zero about tennis. We're going to introduce you to it. And if you do know something about blind low vision tennis, come and hopefully meet some other people to play with.
Yeah, there's going to be a group coming across to support you from San Antonio, I believe, which is exciting. So there's definitely a big appetite for blind low vision tennis in Texas. I attended the NFB state convention in Dallas, Texas 2 years ago, and we probably had 40 people come and try blind low vision tennis. And then last year we did the American Council of the Blind national convention in Dallas. And again, there was probably 50 to 60 people who came and played tennis there, with lots of people stopping by our booth during that event and really keen to be able to play. So it's great that we're doing more across the Texas landscape. My next event is also in Texas, in Austin, Texas, and it's the National Federation of the Blind National Convention. It'll take place, it starts on July 3rd, which is the Friday. And July 3rd, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., is the Everybody Plays Sport and Recreation Fair. US Blind Low Vision Tennis will be there at that sport and recreation fair. And that'll be a great opportunity for you to be able to hit some balls as well, and interact and talk to us about playing more. We will have a sign up sheet there as well. So if you'd like to continue playing after you have a try, then we can take your details down, put you in our player member database, and be able to give you updates about what's happening and what things are happening in your local region. And of course, people with blindness and low vision come from across the whole country to that national convention for NFB. So I'm sure it'll be a really great event. We've done the last two NFB national conventions in New Orleans last year and then Orlando, Florida the year before. And so lots of fun at those events. So please stop by. That event will take place in Salon E on level 3 of the JW Marriott Hotel downtown Austin, Texas. And we'll be posting in the next 2 weeks updates and information on our social media platforms that talk about those two events as well. So stay tuned to our social media. If you haven't listed us on social media, it's just US Blind Tennis that you can go and search for, and it'll bring up our social media platforms, and you can come and interact with us on those platforms.
It sounds really exciting. And it's not ending there either. We have one more event coming up this year. We're going to have our National Blind Low Vision Tennis Tournament in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, August 7th through 9th. The great thing about this tournament is we're doing another new player, new coach clinic on Friday, August 7th. So again, even if you've never played tennis before, if you're able to get to Pittsburgh, we'd be happy to have you and give you some starting points. If you're a coach with or without experience, please come. It's going to be a really great opportunity to build your skill set and understand how to work with athletes at a really high level. And then Saturday and Sunday will be our tournament play. We have a really nice facility. It'll be indoors. The fun thing about tennis and blind low vision tennis is our ball, our sound ball, can be played anywhere, but for competitive tournament play, we always pick an indoor location. So we'll be indoors for this. We're going to have a number of blind low vision athletes from around the country of various vision levels as well. And if you're not sure what category you belong in, because we do compete in different vision categories, we can help you with that. We have all of the information. So follow our socials, reach out to us, sign up for these events. And if you have questions, please ask and we'll get back to you.
And I did forget to mention that the National Convention for NFB actually has two parts. So on that Friday, July 3rd, we're doing the Sport and Recreation Fair from 1 o'clock to 6 p.m. In Austin, and that'll be again in Salon E, level 3. But on the following Saturday and Sunday and Monday, we'll be at the National Main Convention Hall, Exhibit Hall, and we'll have a dedicated table for US Blind Tennis, which will be staffed by myself and the adapted director of US Tennis Association, Evan Enquest. So Evan and I will be at that booth. We'll be really interested for you to stop by. We'll be selling blind low vision tennis balls and blind low vision tennis t-shirts that we just printed up for the event. And so we'd love to have your support, love to have a conversation with you where you can stop by, talk to us about, your interests, talk to us about where you're located. Evan and I will have, a lot of resources as well to share with you guys. So across that whole weekend into Monday at the National Convention, please engage with US Blind Tennis. For the national championships, we are really excited to have them in Pittsburgh. I guess there was a little bit of different play around the country in different areas before COVID. But since COVID happened, really a lot of those areas have disbanded or are trying to come back together. And it's really been Pittsburgh and Highland Park Tennis Club that has embraced US blind tennis, with specific courts being given to Pittsburgh for blind tennis. And just the city itself and the community in Pittsburgh have been amazing in supporting our national championships for the first time. So it's a great opportunity, as Dana said, to come in and start to just learn and play and be a part of the community and have the social aspect as well. It's great to get on the court and play, and it's a sport we all love. But it's also that community and that social aspect, which I think people get a lot out of. And so that will still be the case at the national championships this year.
And it's really nice for both the Houston Clinic on July 1st from 6 to 8 at West Gray Recreational Center and at our national tournament in Pittsburgh, August 7th through 8th, or I believe 7th through 9th. We're going to have representation from United States Tennis Association. They have an adaptive program. So if you're interested in starting your own program, we're also going to be teaching you ways where you can keep this going and growing in your own location, how to get support from these national organizations, not just from us, so that this isn't something you just do one time or twice or three times a year. We want this to be something that you get to play as frequently as you want. And if you want to grow it into a community, that we can be there to give you the support to do that too.
It's a great point, Dana. And I think the collaboration with United States Tennis Association, USTA, and certainly Evan as the adaptive director has been a really strong one that we've really been conscious of building. And USTA has 16 sections across the country. And we'll be working with all of those 16 sections to be able to look to have hubs or places for people to go and train and play in their local communities. And so that's why it's great for you to stop by the exhibition booths and when we have demonstrations and come and try events like Dana's going to run in Houston, so that we know where you are, we know who you are, we know how we can best serve you and help you. And together with USTA and US Blind Tennis, I think we'll have a solution that hopefully will be great for everybody. But we're just at the starting point, and I think it's important to understand that we want more coaches, we want more volunteers, we want, of course, want more players. And these events are really the catalyst and the starting point for you guys to be involved with us.
Well, great. Well, I'm excited, Murray. What about you?
Absolutely. Dana and I were involved in the tournament last year in Vancouver, Washington State. We both made the final, and so we're definitely competitive, but we also really enjoy what we do. And so you have to have fun playing, and it's definitely about that journey of learning and doing something that maybe is a little outside of your comfort zone, but can be really rewarding and really fun for you. And so, Dana, do you want to talk about the tournament that you played last year?
Absolutely. It was my first tournament ever within the first year of me playing blind low vision tennis. So I had no idea what to expect. And the thing that was really remarkable was the community that I got to build with other players and even my own teammates. We had a long airplane ride, so I got to speak with some of the other athletes and coaches in a way that I hadn't before. And then when we were in Vancouver, getting to meet all these awesome people from around the country who also love tennis of all ages, of all backgrounds. It's something that I definitely recommend if you're able to do it, if you're interested, even if you've never been to a tournament or played competitively, it's okay. Come join us. We're friendly, but we'll also give you a run for your money too if that's what you want.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely have white line fever. I have to say, as much as I try to just enjoy the game when I'm out there on the court, I'm always very competitive. It comes from so many years of playing goalball, but it's something that I also really enjoy. You have to love what you do, and I think there's a lot of people who have talked to me about being blind and low vision and being somewhat worried about how well they can play. And to your point earlier, Dana, it's not about that. It's definitely about just going out and learning and having fun and having a social environment and having that recreation to improve your things like your balance, your coordination, your motor skills, your spatial awareness. All of those things will be a benefit to you in your regular life, and that's what I love about tennis. It is a fun community recreational thing to do, but it also has so many other benefits to you in your everyday life as well.
And I'm someone who needs a goal. I need to have a reason to be doing what I'm doing. So knowing there's a tournament coming up makes me more willing to put the time in on the court to get ready for the tournament. Whereas if I didn't have these events, I might not be as excited about it or focused on my skill set.
And Dana and I have both released training videos, which is exciting. Actually, Jen just sent me the ones that you did recently, and I started posting them yesterday on our social media platforms. And so, if you've never seen blind or low vision tennis before, again, search US blind tennis and match with us on the YouTube, the Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram pages. And all of those videos are up on those, especially the YouTube and the TikTok pages, for you to go and have a look at and to start to understand the game a little bit more. And then, feel free to ask questions as well. You can put comments in the social media posts. So if you see a training video and you want to ask a question, that's a great place to do it. And then we can get back to you pretty quickly and then answer those questions. We've already had quite a lot of questions. In fact, one of the serving videos that I put up, not your one yesterday, I just put that up, but the one last week that I did in Vancouver got over 1,200 views and a lot of likes and comments. And so people are interested, but engage us as well. We want to hear from you.
And if you are not able to visually view them, don't worry. Of course, we have the audio description to kind of help you along. We want everyone to find these videos really great tutorials. And if you have feedback for us too, let us know. We're learning as we go, and we want to learn as a community. We learn just as much from you as we do from each other.
Absolutely. And just to the Nationals again in Pittsburgh from August 7 to 9, we're hoping to have a new player clinic on the Friday night with a mixed doubles tournament. And that'll be a lot of fun. Love playing doubles. And then the singles draw will start on the Saturday morning and go through to the Sunday, and the final will be in the late Sunday morning. And then we have transport to and from the airport and to and from the hotel to the venue, which is great. We really appreciate our partners helping us with transport. We've got a great hotel. It's a Marriott hotel, I think Fairfield Inn, close to the venue. So we'll provide transport. The meals, breakfast is served in the hotel, and dinners and lunches will be served from Friday night through Sunday. So, you'll be taken care of. We really want a fun, inclusive environment where people come and really enjoy the experience.
And I think we're definitely going to do that. And the more people we can have, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely. So, kind of don't be as afraid as you think it is. It's never as daunting as you think it is once you get out there and you start to learn and hit the ball, and just enjoy, what that is, and until you kind of get better, and then you're working on your game, and then, you might like to just play for fun, and that's perfectly great. But you also might like to play more competitively, and that's certainly available as well. So I think from both sides of that, brand new players don't need to be intimidated to come and try and play. And we're excited to see you at these events. Dana, any last kind of final words for people watching or listening?
I don't think so, but definitely give us a like, give us a follow. Make sure that you're following US Blind Tennis so that you are up on all of our events, all of our training videos, and give us a shout out if you have questions about what's going on.
And we'll also have news coming up around the US Open, which takes place in the kind of first 2 weeks of September. Last week of last week of August is the fan week, and usually we have some sort of involvement from US blind tennis in the US Open as well. And so it's a great opportunity to come to New York as well and attend the Open to watch some great tennis. But thank you so much, Dana, for being with us for this first inaugural episode of Ready Yes Play. And again, you can watch this on the YouTube channel. It's also going to be on Spotify podcasts and Apple iTunes podcasts. And then we'll cut some clips from this podcast and put it across all of our social media platforms. So, like Dana said, give us a like, give us a follow, and give us a comment and tell us what you want to see and what can be helpful for your game. Thanks, and look forward to doing episode 2 in a couple of weeks. Take care, everyone.
Bye.